Welcome guys, I'm Brad Browning, aka Breakup Brad, breakup coach and best-selling author. And right here in this video, I'm going to teach you how to make your ex admit that they made a mistake breaking up with you. Now I know that might sound impossible, but it's often actually quite simple if you know how to play it. Now, even if your ex cheated on you, even if they lied to you or otherwise broke your trust, mistreated you or anything like that, this method could still very well work for you because this method is essentially going to make them realize that they made a huge mistake. Then from there, the process of getting them back is going to be a lot easier than it would be otherwise. Now, some people are going to call this manipulative, and I'm not going to lie, there is a bit of psychology at play here, but in the long run, you're really not going to do anything that's illegal, immoral, or hurtful to your ex. Really, you're just using a few simple psychological methods against them. Now, the real trick here is to make your ex's mind do all the work. So the first and most important step is to disappear from your ex's radar as quickly and completely as possible after breaking up. Even if it's already been, 2 or 3 months since your breakup, you still need to cut off all contact for a period of time. Now, my default suggestion for the typical breakup situation is to employ around 30 days, a month of no contact. But of course, some scenarios might call for a shorter or a longer period of radio silence. And again, this is all about tapping into basic psychology and forcing your ex to suddenly experience life without you. Now, I know this is going to seem kind of counterintuitive or even going against your goal, but you need to trust me here. This is not something you're going to do forever. It's just for a month or so. Now, you might be saying, this is impossible, that the two of you have things to discuss or whatever. But the truth is, there are really not many good reasons that you to actually need to have contact with your ex after a breakup, at least outside of, logistical things like picking up your stuff, paying bills, things like that. And the thing is, you really can get most or all of those done as soon as possible and then go no contact. Or, if there is a genuine reason that you can't pick up your cat or whatever, for a few weeks, just make it happen in the most streamlined and seamless way so that you can avoid, having any kind of extended conversations with your ex. Now, the few exceptions here are if you live together, work together, or you have children together. Now, if any of those describe your situation, I actually made another video in the past just for you, and you can check that out by clicking the pop-up here or the link in the description below. But outside of those few specific situations, talking to your ex during this time is only going to hurt your chances. First off, emotions are running extremely high after a breakup, and you run the risk of getting into an argument with your ex, which obviously is just going to push them further away. And you could also just lose control and start begging them for a second chance, or you could bug them incessantly with your texts, or complain to them about how sad you are, yell at them, or booty call them. Really, any combination of those things. And of course, this is really only going to make them upset and again, drive them further away. But what if staying in contact with your ex seems to be going well? What if you two seem to be connecting and talking to them makes you both feel good? Well, if it's only been a few weeks since the breakup, then this is actually going to be a big problem in the long run as well, because you actually don't want your ex to feel good right now. You want them to feel the sadness and the loneliness that you're probably feeling. You want them to be miserable and to feel like, they made the biggest mistake of their life. Now, obviously, you don't want to do anything actively cruel to them right now, but denying them your presence is your right, and it's your choice, and it's the right thing for both of you. Remember, they ended the relationship, so why do they get to dictate that you have to stay around to keep them company? Now, once you've gotten all the excuses out of the way, it is time to go no contact. I'm not going to lie to you, it's going to suck at first. You'll feel like you lost a limb or something. The sadness, the sense of loss, those are going to be powerful feelings, more powerful than probably you've even felt up to this point. But then something surprising is going to happen. All of a sudden, one day, you're going to start to feel better. That one day you'll notice that you haven't thought about them in, your ex in a few hours, and then it'll be a whole afternoon. And then a whole day will go past without them entering your mind. And at the same time, your ex is going to be going through the exact opposite feelings. Because you made them go cold turkey, and because you made the decision to go no contact, they are going to be the ones that are feeling upset. Now, this time alone is going to make them rethink the decision they made to end the relationship, and they're going to be all alone, and they're going to be stressed about the future without you in it. And without you there to, constantly remind them of your presence and your desire to be with them, they'll worry that they missed their one chance at happiness. And they're going to start to feel worthless and unlovable. And in fact, on top of that, it's actually been proven that the negative memories of a breakup fade before the positive memories of the relationship. And so they're going to start to forget about all the bad stuff and start pining after all the good times you had together. They're going to be going over all the mistakes they made and wondering why you ever gave them a chance in the first place. Now, I know that you love your ex and you don't want to make them feel bad necessarily. But if you want them to realize and admit their mistake, this is what you have to do. And then if you want to make your ex happy, you'll be able to make it happen together rather than apart. Now, cutting off your ex isn't the only thing that you have to do if you want them to admit defeat. You actually have to make the most of this time to turn things around and start winning at life if you really want to flip the script and change their mind about breaking up. Now, I know you're not feeling like doing, a bunch of self-improvement stuff right now, but it's going to make all the difference in the world. And not only that, it's going to surprise your ex. And if you want them to admit that they made a mistake, then you really need to show them that they were wrong about you and show them what you're capable of. So really, take a good hard look at your life and list the things that you want to improve. Now, it's best if you can set, 1 or 2 concrete goals that you can actually achieve in the next 30 days. So if you want to improve your fitness, your goal could be to run a 10K race by the end of the month. If you want to excel at school, then your goal could be to get an A in an upcoming class. If your goal is to be more adventurous, then go get scuba certified. These kinds of goals, they should be significant and challenging, but actually achievable. You really need to show yourself and your ex that you can do whatever you want and that you don't need them by your side dragging you down. Not only is this going to distract you from your heartbreak, it's going to help you fill up the time that you used to spend hanging out with your ex. And as dumb as it sounds on the surface, please trust me when I say this is a powerful indicator to your ex that they did make a mistake. Your ex is going to be surprised by the confidence that you gained throughout this process. And you're also going to have something new and interesting to talk to your ex about once you do start to reconnect. And even if things don't end up working out with your ex in the long run for whatever reason, chasing goals and working on improving your own life is still going to be a valuable exercise that will help you speed up the process of getting over them. Now, if you want to know whether there's still hope for you to get your ex back, and like I said, there is probably still a good chance of that happening if you handle things correctly from here on out, well, the best place to start is by taking my free quiz at breakupbrad.com/quiz. Just go there, answer a handful of questions about your breakup and your situation in general, and the quiz will calculate your odds of getting a second chance. Hopefully, you'll get a high score on the quiz and you'll feel even more confident that there's still hope for you. But even if not, and you do end up getting a low score that suggests it might be a lost cause, well, at least you'll have more clarity. Again, you can take my quiz for free at breakupbrad.com/quiz. Now, if you really want your ex to admit their mistake, you need to focus on dating during this time as well. Now, I know it's not going to feel right. It might even feel like a betrayal, but it is actually going to help you get your ex back in the long run. And remember, you are broken up right now, so they can't be upset at you for supposedly moving on and starting to date again. So, download a dating app or 2, get your friends to set you up, and actually go on a few dates. Don't just talk and flirt with people. Go out there and make it happen, even if you don't feel like it. This is going to do everything that achieving those goals we talked about earlier will do, but even better, it's also going to make your ex jealous. Their mind is going to run wild at the idea of you, out on dates with new attractive people, and it's going to make them spiral all over again. This is what it typically does for most people. They don't want to see their ex in the arms of somebody new, and that can be a huge wake-up call if they think that they have the upper hand in the whole breakup situation. All right, guys, that just about does it for this video. I appreciate you watching it all the way to the end and taking this all in. I wish you the very best of luck out there, and I will see you in my next video, of course, after you like and subscribe. Bye for now.